Let's discuss importlib. It is a special Python module used for dynamic importing. It allows importing modules using strings and variables. So let's import lib. Now let's import the module time, which is used for measuring execution time and benchmarking. So now let's import time, which is used for measuring execution time and benchmarking. Import time. Frif counter gives a very high precision timer. We store the time before importing. Frif counter gives a very high precision timer. We store the time before importing, so let's save it. Start time, which is time dot brief counter. Now let's import json module, which is a standard import. Python loads the json module into memory. So let's import json. And now let's save stored time after import. So end is equal to time dot. Now let's calculate total time loading. End and start gives seconds, and if you want to convert to milliseconds, then we are going to multiply it with 1000. Okay, so print f string json loaded in, and let's just enter end and start and let me just multiply it with 1000. And I want it in 3f, not 2f, and it's not in seconds, so it's going to be millisecond. Now if I run it, you can see that here below that json loaded in 0.002 millisecond. What happens during import? What Python does when Python imports a module, it searches for the module, loads the file, executes module code, creates a module object, stores it in memory, caches it in sys.modules, which we discussed in previous videos. Now let's talk about dynamic import. Dynamic import. Instead of hard coding import method, we start module name in a variable. So let me just name a module name, and let me just save it as math. Okay, usually we import it as import math, but I named the module as module name, and this module name stored a string. You need to remember that import live dot import module What it does, it imports a module dynamically using a string. So let me just write quickly math, okay, and it's already here. So what we did here, we import the module dynamically. Now we can use the module normally. Okay, so print, and let's just find the square root of 16 math dot qrt 16 and is equal to, put a comma in math square dot 16. One thing more that you need to put comma here. Now let's run the code and you can see that math dot square root 16 is equal to 4. So we didn't import the module import math. We usually import it this way, but through dynamic importing we can name the module with a variable and still we can get the output. Dynamic imports are useful for plugin systems, frameworks, optional features, configuration based apps, AI systems, loading extensions at runtime.